All right, Brent Fikowski here, the professor with the Professor Project team, going over another week of training, July 1 to July 7th. In the home gym, might be a little bit of an echo, bear with me. And yeah, so this week is the deload week. Like kind of mentioned before, finished semis, a little bit of recovery, 4 weeks of hard training. This week, a little looser, a little more relaxed, let the body and mind recover, get some errands done, maybe spend a little less time in the gym. And then another 4 weeks of hard work, kind of a new training block there, a couple new things. I'm gonna go over those here. And then a little deload, and it's the CrossFit Games. So I'm looking forward to this little rest week. I hope you guys are. And looking forward to training for the CrossFit Games, and I hope you are too. I hope so far it's been a lot of fun. I hope you've been enjoying your summer. And I'm gonna go through, so this deload week, like, regardless of how you feel, this is a great opportunity to look after the mind, to look after the body. So even if you're feeling great, just do what's on the page, or even do a little less, right? This is a great opportunity to catch up on some sleep, do a little extra stretching, warm up more, cool down more, really make sure the body is feeling great leading into these big 4 weeks that are coming up. Better to do that than to say, hey, I feel pretty good this week. And then, maybe you push harder this week than the intention, and then 2 or 3 weeks into this 4 week block, you're running out of gas, right? So it's better to refuel now, get recharged, get excited, feel fresh starting this 4 week block, so that week 1 and 2 go really well. 3, you're like, oh, it's getting kind of hard. 4 is hard, and then you recover, and then you go into the games. Because the goal is that we have a lot of energy and a lot of juice for these 4 weeks, hit those hard, and then, you can go into a little games prep feeling good, because it doesn't, don't chase the dragon this week. This is not the week to be saying, well, I felt good, so I went for it. It's like, well, if you feel good, let's feel even better next week. So I'm not gonna go over too much with the deload. I mean, again, look through it, do as much of it, or do it as you can, but remember, this is a restorative week, a recovery week. So this is the perfect week if you're like, oh, my knee's a bit sore. It's like, all right, like, take some time off squatting, don't make sure you're not doing like a bunch of twisting, or maybe not as many double unders. And it's like, oh, if my shoulder's sore, it's like, okay, maybe do strict pull-ups instead of kipping pull-ups, or whatever that is. This is the perfect week to kind of mix and match the days, move stuff around, do a little less, change something up. Keep the intensity down, maybe bring the loads down on the percentage if there's like a certain lift that's feeling heavy this week. This is the perfect week to do that. Don't feel like you have to be a slave to what's on the page. And then next week, I'm gonna go through kind of like the main things that we're all gonna be working on in those 4 weeks before the game. So on Monday, we've sort of got our Olympic weightlifting prep. So it's gonna alternate each week. Like 1 week you'll snatch heavy and do like a moderate clean and jerk. These will be in complexes sometimes. And then the next week it'll be the other way around, where you'll do a moderate snatch and then a heavy clean and jerk. So, alternating between those, just to make sure that when the games comes around, we're ready to do a heavy Olympic lift. On Tuesday, gonna look similar to what we've been doing on Monday. So on Mondays, we were doing those 4 minutes on, 4 minutes off, and those were like tough compounding. It's like echo bike, lunges, thrusters, burpee box jump overs, box jump, step down, that kind of stuff. Similar to that, but a little more focus on just the quad, right? So like the VMO, the quad, it's gonna be deep range of motion stuff. Wanna make sure you're getting well below parallel, very like upright squatting stuff. So whether that's a barbell thruster, wall ball, an overhead squat, and then combining that with a C2 bike on a high drag factor, even some burpee box jump overs where you're landing in the squat on the top of the box, just to really pump up those quads. Get used to that quad burn, because there's usually 1 or 2 or multiple workouts at the games where those quads are being smoked. So we want to make sure that that first or second workout of the games, where there's a lot of squatting, not going into it feeling like it's foreign, and then not getting super sore from it, and also just hopefully can excel in that and just live through that pump. Wednesday, I know I've been saying this for ages, but we've been doing all these high-level gymnastic skills, and now those skills are going to be in the workouts. So I'm excited for that. Kind of do some 4 times stuff with some of the fancier skills we've been working on, and excited to kind of put those to practice. And then on Thursday, a variation of Diane each week. So deadlifts and handstand push-ups, that's a really common combination. So kind of mixing up the deadlift stimulus, mixing up the handstand push-up stimulus, but the deadlifts will usually be on the heavier side, as opposed to seeing them in the actual, you won't be seeing maybe as much. I have to kind of still go over this with Jer and David for myself, and then that'll translate to you guys. But as far as the actual like heavy deadlifts in the training, maybe a little bit less, and then making sure that in this workout, that's where the deadlifts will be. So the deadlifts will be in that workout, combining them with mostly handstand push-ups as a priority. Friday, we've got echo bike sprints. Don't you love it? So basically the idea here is what seems to happen with the way that they program the echo bike a lot of times is, you know, they're kind of baiting you and like tempting you into sprinting on the echo bike and then going and doing another movement. So we've done a lot of, you know, zone 2 stuff. We've been doing some threshold work. We've been doing machine intervals, all this stuff. And so this is less about getting better on the echo bike in those sprint scenarios, but more so getting comfortable, like, okay, I'm fit. I kind of know where I stand with this echo bike, and then practicing ramping it up to some high RPMs, to some high watts for, you know, 10 to 30 seconds, immediately jumping off and jumping into a set of, you name it, right? Whether that's thrusters, ring muscle ups, toes to bar, running, whatever that is. Usually it's probably not going to be running, but so more just kind of like getting that comfort there and kind of knowing where you are and gaining a little confidence. Kind of a check-in each week to be like, okay, you know, so when this workout comes out, that's going to be, you know, 30 cal echo, 20 this, 10 that. That's like a very, you know, or 21, 15, 9. It's like you're going to be ready to hit that echo bike. You're going to know what pace you can hold. So you're not going way too slow and being like, I should have went harder, or way too fast. And then Saturday, I work out with all of my favorite things. Sometimes in the past, focus so much on the things that I am bad at that doesn't leave a lot of time for working on the things that I'm good at. So on Saturdays, we got 2 things that I'm pretty good at. So one of those is just going to be like a chipper with all my favorite movements, you know, things like rope climbs and, you know, walking lunges and, you know, double unders and wall balls and high wall balls and stuff like that. Make sure sandbag cleans, kind of make sure that I'm ready to crush those workouts with my favorite things, feeling confident with those movements, and then some swim workouts. So kind of fun opportunity here to get back in the pool, to get us swimming again. We've taken some time off from the water, and I went for a little dip the other day, but it was just, it was mostly with my daughter. I just swam for like, you know, 15 minutes. But yeah, some actual swim workouts coming up here, which will be fun. So that'll be, again, next week, this week, deload week. And yeah, as always, Professor Project Squad, if you have any questions at all, I'm the guy. Hit me up and I'll be answering those, and looking forward to these next few weeks of training with y'all.